you're one of our haters who are out there watching.
I want to warn people about hypnoporn.
We need to stay meta.
Stop that.
Need new tires? Like what?
If Jim would shut up for a second.
Oh, high fidelity.
Okay, don't tell me to shut up.
I'm not whining.
I eat doggies. I eat doggies. Feels like a party.
Stop that. It's a war. They have made it so that I cannot be celebrating July 4th.
I don't care. I'm gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend. I don't care. How do I think? That's what I think. I don't care.
This is 6 Degrees of Stew. You don't need to stay meta, but I'm glad you're here. Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Steph and I are going to start off tonight. I contacted some of my friends and they shared some resources that we could share tonight. Again, because things are so shit and people need help. Well, they have always needed help, but just to highlight some more. A resource shared with me is Harriet's Wildest Dreams. It is a Black-led community defense hub. And all of these resources will stay up here for 20 seconds. So you can click on them, but they'll also be, I always provide them in my sourcing whenever I put them up on Spotify and up on Vimeo as well. So if you miss them, don't worry, they'll be up on other sites as well. And then the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank is a place that I donate to in Central Pennsylvania here. You can find out more information about them. If anybody as well, because I go around and ask, if you have something, it can be local, it can be national, you can contact us and let us know about these, about any mutual aids or organizations. And then we have Baltimore Safe Haven. It provides opportunities for a higher quality of life for transgendered people. Boy, it's really quiet. Why the 20 seconds seems a lot longer than what it is. And then we have Remora House. This is a collective in Washington, D.C. that provides supplies to unhoused residents. And I know Mina is involved with this, Sticker Chick, as some people call her. Through her business that she has, Fun Riot Art, she also donates a portion of those proceeds to Remora House. And then we have Borderlands Relief Collective. They work in solidarity with migrants by providing mutual aid, such as water, food, clothing, and other life-sustaining supplies.
And I just wanted to say, if you are someone who is facing potential deportation or harassment, I'm not a cybersecurity expert, but I would suggest exercising extreme paranoia in locations and stuff that you do on your phone.
Yes.
I would be, because we saw what they did with like period tracking apps for states that outlawed abortion and stuff. So I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but I am saying if you are someone who is fearful of this, I would exercise extreme paranoia in regards to your cell phone data.
Yes, there was one thing when Chris Krebs was still part of head of CISA, I believe was the government organization before Trump fired him because he said the elections were free, safe, and secure. One advice that he had, and this is just basic security for your phone, is to do the device care cleaning on your phone and shut it off and turn it back on once a week. So pick a day of the week. Like I do mine every Sunday because people don't really do that with their phones. They leave them on constantly. They don't turn them back on and off. So I just do it every Sunday. I'm sitting there on my couch. I do the device care clean and then I turn it back on and off. And that helps, prevent hackers and different things from constantly, having access to your phone and things like that. Okay, one more here. And then we're going to talk about a mutual aid for a person that we know. This is resources for immigration and preparedness toolkit. There are a lot of resources on this website. I've shared it in my Discord, and I believe on my Twitter and Blue Sky before. It's a really good resource to share. And a lot of these that I share, even if you can't donate, that's absolutely fine. A lot of people are struggling, but if you can pass them along, that's excellent, because within these websites, even if you can't donate, there are people out there that need the resources available on these websites. Now, Steph and I are both friends with Tyler. He is a former member of the Antimwaffen group organization. What would you call that stuff? Organization?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess it would be an organization. Yeah.
And he has left it. Nazi, white supremacist. He's a trans man, and he has left, and he's rebuilding his life. He's a former great guy. And he has a documentary that he participated in. I have to say, I didn't even realize that I had watched 2 hours of this documentary. I started watching it, and when it was over, I looked at the time and I was like, wow, that was 2 hours. It's just incredible. The best done documentary I've seen in years. The care that they do in this documentary. Robert Evans from Behind the Bastards podcast is in there. There's 1, 2, Tyler, 3 or 4 other formers in it, but it's on YouTube and it's done by Dead Domain. It's really, really good. And Tyler's featured in it. I highly recommend watching that. And then he also appeared on Did Nothing Wrong podcast, where he does an interview and talks about his experiences, his life being a former, which I do love the title of this. What is a woman? Don't ask Antimwaffen with Tyler DePepe. And he has a GoFundMe, and this Tyler is really great. He had been saving money for a truck, and he took down his GoFundMe. It was actually right after I donated to him, and he took down his GoFundMe because he made enough to get his truck, and he got his truck, brings it back, and it had bad wiring right throughout it. I mean, and isn't that the way life goes? You get something, you've been working hard for it, people help you out, and it ends up with bad wiring in it. So unfortunately, I had to put it back up. So he's trying to get his truck repaired. So if anybody can help out, share the GoFundMe again. Even if you can't donate, share it around. So if people can help him out, they can do so. But definitely, and you can follow Tyler on Blue Sky too. He posts a lot, learn about his story. He's not shy about talking about it, what he went through in his journey. But I talk to him a couple times a week. I know Steph does. Other people do. Yeah, he's not sure about sharing his story. I think Steph can vouch for that.
And he's very warm and kind and like just very, very warm person.
He really
very
is
kind, very friendly, and just it's just adorable and quirky. Like aside, a former isn't the only thing that he is. He's just this so adorably quirky person, and I love that. I love the little eccentricities and stuff. And I think like we were saying earlier, like empathy, and I think eccentricities. I think it's also empathy and eccentricity that is the way back. I think the weirdness that gets you in can also get you out.
Oh, yes, Muggsy. Muggsy's chatted with him privately too, and he said he seems like a great kid, and he's only 24. Yes, he has so much life ahead of him. I think he is just absolutely wonderful.
I will adopt you, Tyler.
I would if it was closer, but I've been to Montana and it's freezing out there. They don't call it Big Sky Country for nothing. It's just vast. But yeah, he is really great. So this evening we are diving back into. Did I pull up part 2? Let me make sure. Is this part 2 of it? Season 2, yeah. We are going back into, if you were here last week, we watched part 1 of The Dark Alliance, the inside story of Cosmic Con. And if you missed last week, it's about David Goode, Gaia TV, and David Wilcock. So that is what we're watching. And afterwards, I think we're going to take a little look at Squatch and his adventures with Carrie Cassidy and Solomon Berg. So let's buckle up.
Hi, this is Leon. We've missed each other. Repeat your number twice, leave a message. God's blessings, and have his type of day.
Hey, Leon. This is Darcy. We're calling. I think you might have heard through a mutual friend that I was working on a story, and I'm just very compelled to hear your side of things. I've spoken at length with Jay Widener about his experience with some former individuals that you have also been associated with. I think your story and how that all went down from your perspective would really help in people understanding exactly what happened. And if you feel compelled to call me back, I would really appreciate it, and I would respect your time to the fullest. So I'm waiting for your call. I hope you're doing well.
Press 3 for first. Message received. 7:14 p.m.
Hey, Darcy, Leon. I resurfaced. I was traveling, but I'm back in town now. You can call me. Thank you.
You're going to say collegiate, trying to look a little dapper. Yeah. Hi. Oh, you look great. Nice to see you, Maureen.
Hi, good to see you.
So, why don't you tell me a little bit about your Hollywood background? You know, how you got into acting and how you ended up in the hills.
When I was about 15 years old, I decided that I wanted to be a movie star, writer, producer, director, and all of that. And I was this little black kid in Cleveland, Ohio. And we're talking mid-1960s. There weren't a lot of opportunities for blacks in movies or television, not even commercials. So I knew I'd have to have a plan.
Leon Kennedy was ripped.
So I came up with a plan when I was 15. I know I'll be a big on-the-air radio personality. Back then, they still had radio personality, big-time disc jockeys that ruled a city. You had 2-3 million people listening to you every day. So I said, I'll be a disc jockey. I'll be a big on-the-air personality. From there, I'll get my own TV show, and from there, I'll do movies. So that was my plan from the time I was 15, and I followed that plan. I became one of the youngest disc jockeys in the history of Cleveland, Ohio. By the time I was 19, I did have my own TV show.
WOOK-TV was the nation's first black television station. Hosted by Bob King and later Leon Isaac Kennedy, Teen-A-Rama Dance Party ran for 7 whole seasons.
By the time I was about 26, 27, I was doing major motion pictures. A lot of heartbreak in between.
Okay, that's the life of an actor, right? The life of a star, really.
I love it.
I had an agent, and I said, I don't understand this. I've got the #1 film, and yet there's no film offers coming in. He said, Leon, they don't know what to do with you.
Look at you. Look like a mosquito. Oh, man, you got to be crazy. You're the heavyweight. It just means there'll be a louder thud when they hit the floor.
You are a black leading man, and there are no parts for black leading men.
You've been in the county jail 6 months. You box? Not really.
Oh, Hunter.
He said, you're not even a comedian. There are no parts for you. So I had to learn several things. One is write my own. Then after writing it, raise money and go out and sell it, raise money and go out and make a deal. So that's how I learned to write. That's how I learned how to produce. And that's how I continued to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like the power couple among black celebrities in the 70s and 80s.
That is amazing. So I'm sure that you have pretty much opened the door and paved the way for so many of us.
And here I went to all this trouble. Hey man, I think the lady and I need to have a private conversation.
Now, even the Pope, he said it's quite conceivable that there could be other beings from other places.
I don't think
and
the Pope meant a
they would be
secret
God's creations
space
too.
program, Leon.
Once I finally was convinced to go into ministry, I took it very seriously to try and help people. Because there are a lot of people out here that want to do better, but they don't know how.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter now pending will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Please state and spell your name for the record. James Corey Goode.
So why am I in this? I am in this because I stood for integrity. I'm also in ministry, and my relationship with God, when you're on a spiritual
I'm only
journey
laughing because
and
I
you're
know
trying
what
to fulfill
happens.
your spiritual destiny, your spiritual integrity is more important than anything.
How did you come across Corey Goode initially, possibly through David Wilcock?
The week that I started working with David was the week he said, yeah, and by the way, I resigned from Gaia. So that was a shock to me, but I wasn't around when they...
Let me just say, this guy is like, the week I started working with David is when he resigned from Gaia. So David has already said that he was Edgar Casey reincarnated, that he was with the Blue Avians and all that other crazy shit. But he's like, I just started working with David Wilcock. Seems like a pretty cool dude. These grifters.
They were at Gaia. David and I had met a couple years prior. And
I just want to say
Kevin
that
Burns was a
David
great
looks
friend
like
of mine.
somebody hung a poorly tailored suit over the frame of a skeleton.
I know, it's so bad. And let me tell you, this Kevin Burns guy, I looked him up. Hang on one second. He has
Not
done...
Ken Burns, just so we're clear, not Ken.
He has done so much shit. He has... I was like, not only did he bring us Ancient Aliens, but he did for George Lucas and Lucasfilms. He did a documentary for Empire of Dreams, the story of Star Wars trilogy. And then he was selected by Lucas to produce and direct Star Wars, The Legacy Revealed. And he's like, he did a thing for Superman Returns.
The Wayfair. Oh, I thought that said the Wayfair Legacy. It said Valkyrie Legacy.
Oh
Never
my gosh.
mind. Never mind.
And then he goes into, in 2010, he starts doing this other stuff. Ancient Aliens, The Curse of Oak Island, and all. But then he comes back out on his feet, Lost in Space reboot for Netflix. So, these people. I know.
Kevin is the one that created and produced Ancient Aliens. So Kevin and I go back a good 30 years. So I knew Kevin quite well and loved Ancient Aliens. As a matter of fact, I was in his office when the Ancient Alien deal was being negotiated. I was very excited about Ancient Aliens. And so as
Everybody
I watched
was.
Ancient Aliens,
It did
I
so
would
much
see David.
damage to
And
our
I thought that
society.
David was one of the
And
brightest people
conspiracies
on Ancient Aliens.
that led to
Later, I
QAnon
was
and
at
where
an
we are
Academy
today.
Award party, and at that party was David. And we sat and we talked. I had, various questions about the show. We formed a friendship, and
I actually found that video by accident that they just showed there from the Inquirer of David Wilcock talking about how much he looked like Edgar Casey and being reincarnated. It's so fucking absurd.
had this friendship for a long time. And then
That's
more
the
time
same
went
shit
by,
they do with the crisis actor stuff.
work
Yes.
together, and with the personality that you have and the knowledge that you have, maybe I can take some things and get you to be more mainstream as far
Maybe I
as
can
a
make more money
mainstream
off of you.
TV show or a mainstream series or whatever the case.
Anytime I get to see my face that big, it's a good day.
Nobody wants your face that big with that forehead.
Unless it's an HD.
Now with Corey, once I was introduced to him, the 20 and Back series for TV and or the 20 and Back movie,
20
I
and
mean,
back
that's
means
just
you go
like
20
a
years
Star Trek or whatever.
in the secret
It
space
was a great
program to Mars.
story.
You come back
Now,
and they regress you
having
20
been in
years.
Hollywood for a
So
long
you never
time,
lose 20 years.
Darcy, I can tell you,
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, it
You-
basically runs off the same premise as Narnia.
Me-
When you're in
Yes.
Narnia, like time slows down in the real world or something.
Yeah. That's what this guy's buying into.
anything. Hollywood is always about relationships and muscle. Who's going to return your phone call? Who's going to take a meeting with you, and so on and so forth. And David approached me and said, you know, Leon, as you know, I work with Corey Goode, and he's a good guy. He needs some help. He's got some really good projects that he'd like to get off the ground. And then his business is a little erratic, so you know they could use your business skills as far as helping to run his operation. Why don't you talk with him and see if there's any chemistry there? So I met Corey and Roger at the same time. They were partners. And after having some other conversations, we decided that we would try to work together.
Okay, so contracts, scripts, connections. Any other reason why you brought on Leon?
That's all I can think of at the moment.
And so that was your lawyer that was carrying out the deposition.
I'm going to share the link. I didn't explain what I was sharing, but I should have. Oh, where did it go?
Can you just kind of recap what this whole thing, what the whole court case was over? Because I was here last week and I was participating, but I got so angry that I lost out on a lot of what was going on.
Corey Goode sued Gaia TV for he was trying to copyright basic general words in the U.S. language, like secret space program and different words that he used on Gaia TV. So he did a RICO suit against them. And then he provided a deposition, and it didn't turn out well for him because they got leaked. And yeah, the case was very, very stupid. So that's what they keep talking about, is showing these depositions that he lied, because he kept trying to say it was my intellectual property. And I was kind of just meditating. I never really went to space. Like, it's all quite absurd. So all these people are kind of real whistleblowers. Like, now they're telling their true tales.
And the thing is like, you know, these other conspiracy theory people, they're grifters just as much as Corey is, but it's grifter versus grifter, because it's like, you know, hey, you got your chocolate on my peanut butter. You got your peanut butter on my chocolate. You got your bullshit on my bullshit, and only one of us can have bullshit.
Yeah, I know. And there's really like no good people in this. Like, who are you rooting for? Like, Gaia TV shit. They put all this stuff out there. That guy in the beginning who created Gaia TV shit, he knew what he was doing, putting out all this disinformation. This guy knew. I mean, come on, David Wilcock was doing all this stuff before he left Gaia TV. So I mean, yeah, they're telling what went on, but nobody comes out clean in any of this. Nobody.
No, when you swim in the sewer, you come out smelling like shit.
Yep. And this is the court case that Goode versus Gaia that they're talking about, if anybody's interested. And then Corey's depositions got leaked too, and that's when he settled the lawsuit and stopped it. They got leaked to, it's a YouTube channel called Truth Seekers, and I can't remember the host's name, but they got leaked there, and he created a whole playlist. He doesn't comment or anything on them. He just leaked all the depositions. So that's the link right there if you want to see Corey's depositions, where he really squirms because he's like, fuck, I'm really caught this time. I have to, but he still keeps grifting. People are still giving him money. Yeah.
And you know that
Whoops,
in
nothing
that
sorry.
video
in
that came out.
any of those
That is correct.
depositions is true.
Yeah.
You know, he's still lying.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's fun to watch him squirm. It's not as entertaining as Roger Stone's deposition, which is one of my favorite depos ever. But it's pretty good to watch Corey Goode squirm.
Yes, but oh God, I was thinking of when you said deposition. I was like, that Roger Stone one is the best. It was like, isn't it true that you're an asshole? No, you're an asshole. No, you're an asshole. I'm like,
I
this
know.
is awesome.
I mean,
Let me ask you this: the profit sharing, this 25.
Vehicle breakdowns are costly.
Start making some really weird noises.
If your check engine light comes on tomorrow, the repair could easily cost thousands.
Is that transmission?
But with
the
endurance,
Roger Stone
you could
deposition,
never pay out of pocket for a
when I
costly
find
repair
it,
again.
They covered a
I will post it.
$14,000
I'll look
engine
for it.
replacement.
$1,400.
Steph might be able to
Endurance
find it.
paid it. Who's going to pay for your next car repair?
It is
you
gold.
or Endurance?
Call right
It
now
is
to
one
get
of the funniest
$300 off
depositions
any
I've
plan.
ever
Call
seen.
now.
5%. You said it was the same ratio for the DVDs as it was for 1091, right?
We decided that we would try
Oh, hey,
to
Spencer.
work together. One of the reasons that I was going to work with them is that David also needed some protection because David was involved as a percentage partner in Above Majestic. And he wanted to make sure, because there had been a big reluctancy at the beginning of this on Corey's part to give David the proper percentage. And after going through that, it was like, well, Leon, how do I know I'm actually going to get paid? And how will I know I'm going to get paid on time? And I said, well, maybe a company should be put together that would be like a holding company that would collect the proceeds as they came in from Orchard 1091, and then they would give everyone the proper percentage payouts.
Yeah. Isn't it true that your attorneys represented that the funds being held as proceeds from Cosmic Secret and Above Majestic were being held in trust while an audit was taking place?
That
He's
was the
so
original plan, that it was going
sweaty
to
in
go
this.
into a trust. We had it going into my bank account, but
He
we
looks like a
just
used
never,
car salesman.
implemented the escrow account.
Yes.
You just took the money.
I took some of it.
Anyway, it's pretty messed up, but
wow.
I guess they were upset that like 1091 switched the bank
Hey,
account
Taylor.
to just Corey's in the middle of COVID instead of.
Well, no, that was not. I'll stand up for 1091. That was not their fault. Like 1091 is just an accounting firm in that way that operates on whoever the signatory is on the contract. Corey signed that contract. It was Corey's company. So when he emailed the accounting team to change the bank account, they don't even have any say
He
over
said,
that.
put all
They
that
have
money
to do
into
that
my account.
Right.
I'm not
legally. But
paying
what
anybody.
it's so
Fuck
unfortunate
Yeah.
that Corey then robbed everybody for
Yeah.
like years and years and years.
Yeah, man. Like cut
So,
Jordan Sather and like Leon and Roger Ramsor and everybody out of their percent. Even David Wilcock didn't get his percentage.
it's crazy.
I was trying to
Yeah,
talk to
Roger-
David about that. I wanted to just like see how he was affected by
What if
all
he's
this
Canadian?
shit,
I just
but,
heard him say about that.
He was like, no. So whatever.
Well, he's probably scared of you. Corey left such a tarnish on his, soul. He was friends with Corey, regardless of how that went down. And it was just the way Corey threw him under the bus in that deposition. And it was
Me
just
too.
super sad, man.
Yeah.
Let
And,
them grift off
to be
each
honest,
other.
I never believed his story. I just never felt Corey Goode had authenticity, respectfully.
You basically initially were coming on as a professional business partner to help manage the business of the Corey Goode work.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say business partner, business associate.
Did you believe you needed any assistance?
Well, of course. My motto was, if you don't know something, if someone convinces you that
you
they're
don't
an expert
know
in
something,
bring
make
them
it
in and
up.
trust them.
Why
Corey
not?
had some really good projects, the 20 and Back, which was a movie project, and the 20 and Back TV series,
Movie
which
project.
had a lot of potential.
Well, the 20 and Back itself is my creation. That's why I trademarked it, and that's why it's a part of my intellectual property.
So does that mean it's not real? It's dramatization?
What does it matter if it's real or not?
I knew that I could
What does it matter if I went
most
to Mars or
likely
not?
get the proper meetings to get these projects done.
What studio head offered that $1 billion?
No studio offered it. That was just a calculation.
Leon spoke to a famous director that looked at our stuff, and then they said, wow, this is $1 billion property.
Who said that?
Antoine Fuqua, allegedly.
Who is a top A-list director. And I said to Antoine, let me bounce this story off of you. And so I bounced the story off of him. He said, okay, this has potential. So he's the one that said, you know, this could be a $1 billion franchise. So one day I said to him, I said, Corey, let me explain something to you, because I'm tired of hearing about your IP.
Oh, Corey, those pants are tight.
You were Corey Goode 3 years ago. You were on Gaia 3 years ago, had a big #1 TV show 3 years ago, and you still couldn't get your foot into any main Hollywood door. Nobody returned your phone calls. Nobody gave a crap about you. So don't tell me about your $1 billion franchise. It's really someone that can get you in the door and pitch this for it to become that.
Very lucrative IP. That's why everyone wants it.
Okay. So why aren't you selling it now and making a lot of money? Why do you need donations?
For the legal fund?
Yeah.
I'm allowing the community to be a part of helping me pay for the legal fees, which have been hundreds and hundreds of thousands.
Oh, isn't that sweet? He's allowing the community to be part of the legal fund for him getting sued. He's allowing the community to help him with his legal fund, even though he could be making millions of dollars off of his $1 billion intellectual property. That's so generous of him. What a good heart he has.
Thousands of dollars.
But if it's $1 billion IP and you can make millions of dollars, why do you need nickel and dime to pay an attorney?
You mean, will you give me $1 billion for this?
Never.
Well, then what's your question again?
So I, and with Tracy Edmonds, got the meeting with the heads at Netflix, got the meeting with J.J. Abrams' company, got the meeting with STX movie studio, got the meeting with Jim Hart, who wrote Contact, and on and on and on. It took relationships to do that. Corey didn't have any relationships. You know what? I don't think anybody's going to work with him because he's too litigious. When you kick it upstairs and the attorneys and the big decision makers see, oh, wait a minute. He's threatened this person. He has sued this person. He's backstabbed that person. No, we pass.
Right.
That was workman's comp stuff. It wasn't like lawsuits. I've never had lawsuits.
You've never had any lawsuits?
No.
So you're not a party to any other lawsuit other than this?
Nope. Correct. Well, I currently have a lawsuit
I have another one.
against Gaia now and other parties.
Okay, so you do have one other civil lawsuit?
Yeah, I do.
All right. And that's the only lawsuit other than your workman's comp, so you only have 2 civil lawsuits you've ever been a party of?
Is bankruptcy considered?
Workers' comp, 1 bankruptcy, this lawsuit, and 1 other lawsuit.
Yeah, the RICO suit with Gaia.
RICO suit with Gaia. Any others?
If you have to think
Who
about
is Liz
lawsuits, it's
Laurie?
pretty bad.
Liz Laurie is one of my attorneys.
Are you in a lawsuit with that person?
No, they filed a lawsuit and then quickly dropped it against us here in the state of Colorado. I forgot about that.
Okay. So that'd be a 5th lawsuit.
What do you think attracted people to his story? Was it mostly the fact that you were representing him and you're a credible actor in Hollywood, or do you think he actually has some kind of talent?
Talent has nothing to do with a story. It was a fantastic story as part of the secret space program and the adventures of being on other planets. And of course, the big caveat was this is all real.
And you believed it,
now,
sir.
When I first heard Corey's lecture, I looked at the people I was with and I said, this is pretty fantastic. You know, this is way out there to be real.
But let me see if I can make some money on it.
In the dirt.
The SSP Alliance is made of a group of
people that have broken away from the other secret space programs, and they have loosely come together to form an alliance to bring about full disclosure and bring all of the technologies to all of humanity at the same time.
And that's really good news, because if any of you were at the Conscious Life Expo, we created a shockwave in announcing that there was this effort being made by the cabal to do a partial disclosure where they take 100 years
I cannot take
to tell us the truth.
David
I don't want to
Wilcox's
wait that
shirt
long.
there.
I don't know about you, but
Looks
I don't
like he
feel
killed
like
a
waiting
lion
100
to get
years. He lived on a ship and worked in this cigar-shaped craft and part of
Solar
a faction of the
Warden.
space program called Solar Warden. And we have a huge portal system that goes to other galaxies. And how close is it to our solar system?
It's just right outside of our solar system, outside of the heliosphere. According to the intel I received, the, Death Stars were, hijacked and used in some sort of conflict that was going on. And when they did this, they unintentionally brought down the entire grid for the local star cluster.
Hate when that
And
happens.
for the first time allowed all of these genetic farmer races to come in.
It
Define
is
genetic
Tommy
farmer
Tatum's
for
voice.
those
I
who don't
hate
know.
that.
Groups that come in
Insane we all
bringing,
haven't known this.
genetics from other locations in their little banks to mix with genetics at a new location and to harvest genetics. I mean, just like, what was that movie that we went and saw?
Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah, kind of like Jupiter
Kind of
Ascending.
like Jupiter Ascending, almost like you stole from the
This will
movie.
do to people when they find out the truth.
So I went back to David. I said, it's a heck of a Hollywood story. I don't know if it's real. And David said, no, it's real.
I do my due diligence. I'm not ever going to promote somebody if I don't think he's 100% true.
Okay, David.
And Corey swore up and down it was real. And then I found that Corey had told one of the top leading radio personalities in the metaphysical field that he had been picked up by a flying saucer in his own backyard and taken out into space many times, that he had been taken to Antarctica, and various other episodes that he swore to.
Was that George Norrie?
Well,
George Norrie,
he
shut
had
up.
a different story with George. With George, I was told by other people within George's camp that George, was a little apprehensive about.
George was apprehensive about
I'm
that
being
story.
nice when I said apprehensive about Corey's story, and Corey swore on camera, no, all of this is true. And then the many episodes that they talked about on Gaia television. So people were shocked when this deposition came out. And I had asked our lawyer to ask him, as far as character credibility, have you really been to the moon? Have you really been in outer space? Were you really a part of this secret space program? And in the middle of this deposition, Corey basically stated that the things that he had sworn were true were not true.
I'm asking you whether it was dramatization or was it real?
It's a real part of my dream
They
or
really
delusion,
can't, Tommy
whatever
Tatum's
you
voice.
want to call it. I created all of this as on top of the training that I did have and the experiences that I did have. I extrapolated this stuff out and created it.
Okay, but it's part of your dream or delusion, you call it, correct?
With whatever y'all want to call it.
What do you call it?
I call it my intellectual property.
Okay. And you state you've gone away for over 20 years and you come back and you haven't aged, correct?
Well, the 20 and back story in the book is that you're taking off planet, you serve 20 years, your age regressed, and you're put back in time to where you were first removed.
Is that the story or is that what happened to you?
It is the story.
So it's not what happened to you?
Not necessarily. Did I ever go to space?
Yes.
In my physical body?
Yes.
I don't believe so, but I travel astrally and I travel out to outer space. And
it's like, well, this was part.
That is a way so that he can still grift off of his followers. I didn't necessarily go in my body to Mars and fight these people. No, it's a way that I went astrally. I projected because they still believe in astral projection, a lot of his followers. So he can just do that without saying that he went to Mars. It's such, they know how to grift. He's such a fucking liar.
Part of my meditation, and it's two different people. There's the Corey Goode that goes out there through my meditation, and then there's the physical Corey Goode. Well, that's not what he said before.
You stated in one place that you've done 3 of these 20s and backs. That's an extrapolation. That's not reality.
If y'all took about 10 minutes to read this, you will see it talks about Corey Goode, the real person, and Corey Goode, the persona that this stuff is based off of. It is a meditative tool that I use. And a lot of my...
You're not
I am answering your question.
Is it real or not?
It is not physically real. It was created by me as a part of my meditative practices.
Star Trek's not real, Anchar is not real either, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Content that's created by you.
Yes.
Okay.
And all of the delusional people in the community who take this information, it is what you call fan fiction.
One might say, though, he's accusing people of...
Did he just call his fans delusional? All of these people who take this delusional material and call it real. So his books, he called his fans delusional for believing in the secret space program.
Stealing from him because maybe in the past he stole ideas from science fiction and other conspiracies in the community.
Just like Han Solo, the whole Star Trek. This is an IP that is like Star Trek.
No shit. There are many people that have come to me telling me how.
Grab the best part of tax season a whole 5 days sooner, guaranteed. File on Credit Karma, powered by TurboTax, and get the hard-earned money
Spencer,
you've been waiting for ASAP. Start filing today on Credit Karma.
You're just using Corey Goode's
How
rules.
Corey has plagiarized their information, their materials. That's also very tricky to people because there are many people that have followed a Corey Goode because they have said, well, he can't be fake because his experience or that particular experience that he had is similar to an experience I had. Well, my answer to that is because Corey has stolen experiences from a lot of different people. The experience might have been real because it was a real experience from someone else,
He's still
but it
justifying
wasn't Corey's real
the
experience.
secret space program
And
by
that's
saying
where it gets
Corey
very
Goode stole their
convoluted,
experiences.
and people have a
guy's
problem
full of shit.
dissecting Corey
It took me
Goode,
forever to find it, but
the
check your
liar,
texts. I
and the
finally
fraud
found it.
From, oh, but he said something that I connect with.
Me delivering my intellectual property as if it's all absolutely true. Yes, that is definitely a part of the PR and way to get this information out to the public.
And so a lot of people then said, okay, well, he's a liar, he's a fraud, and it crushed a lot of people's faith and belief that had been following this man, believing every single thing that came out of his mouth. First of all, if I had vetted Corey, I would have never worked with him. I would have known, okay, there's something going on here. Leon, stay away from this. But because David said he's a good person and he could use your help, go ahead and work with him, Leon. That's what I did. Corey has fallen out with everyone that he's come into contact with. First of all, he hurt his team by taking their money, as I said, after they had waited about 6 months for the profits to even come in. With Above Majestic, David had already done his taping. The documentary was ready to come out. That's when I started working with David. And I said to David, well, Jordan is getting 15%. What percentage are you getting? And he said, well, I don't know. So I called Corey and I said, Corey, I'm calling on behalf of David. How much of a percentage is David going to get? Corey said to me, I'm not giving David a percentage. I said, you're what? He said, David doesn't deserve a percentage. Now, these are words that if Corey denies it, I have it taped. So I called David and I said, Corey doesn't want to give you a percentage. David actually cried on the phone. He said, how could he do that to me? I'm the one that took him to Gaia. I'm the one that gave him a platform at Gaia. I'm the one that helped him with his contract at Gaia. I've helped build him into a big name, and he's going to do this to me? So I go back to Corey. This is what he said to me. I've done as much for David Wilcock as David has done for me. The man is a sociopath. He does not remember anything
Nobody in this world
of kindness that anybody else ever
They're
did
all
for
out
him.
for themselves.
I went over
and the
Corey's
money.
head. That was the end of it. So that's how he treated his best friend. So you did not fire me because you didn't hire me and never paid me a dime out of your own pocket or out of your own company. Your company didn't have any money, and most of the time you didn't have any money, and I can really say that because I'm the one that kept getting advances for you, and I'm the one that would worry at night about how am I going to get some more money going so that Corey and his family will be okay.
Oh, yeah,
I don't remember receiving a lump sum directly from him. I know he made a loan to Leon for a certain amount of money that Leon was responsible for. And in that deal, he ended up getting 5% of one of the films.
How much was that for, the 5%?
What do you mean, how much was that for?
How much did he pay to get the 5%?
I don't know.
Approximately?
I don't know, between 50 and 70 grand, I guess, whatever Leon agreed to in that.
Isn't it true that within a few months after him donating the 50 to 70 grand that you went back and asked him for another 100,000?
Stolen
I don't
valiant
recall
Thor.
that.
You don't recall?
Yes. I don't recall ever asking for large sums of money other than to help me with my kids' schooling.
I am convinced that Corey wants lawsuits to drag out because this is how he's making a living.
I know somebody else
The
who
longer
draws
a lawsuit
out
is
things
around, the
to
more
drift
donations
on a
he'll get.
GoFundMe.
Every time
And
there's a
lies about their
deposition of this, that, and
lawsuits.
the other, he goes online and says,
Mim.
hey, gang, I'm getting ready to defend myself again.
Jim
I need
Stewartson.
some donations.
Oh,
and
Pam
new
tried.
donations come
I was
in
thinking of Jim Stewartson.
from people that want to help him and support him.
And what is Light Warrior Legal Fund?
It's a
Hiding in the
fund
bushes from being
that
served.
if people want to donate to my lawsuits, they can send money to that fund.
On your website, the funds are being used to fight dark forces.
Fight the dark
right?
forces, baby.
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And so you're saying my clients are the dark forces?
I'm saying Gaia and the cyber stalkers are the dark forces.
All right, so my clients are not the dark forces?
No.
But I would say to those of you that are supporting him and helping him to defend himself, what's he defending himself from? Who is the dark side? Because, see, if you really look at it and dissect it, no one is suing Corey. He's the one suing everybody. Nobody's suing him. Who is the dark force? Who is the cabal?
Yeah, the cabal.
Who is that?
in
What's
conspiracy
up with
theory
his
land and
Bob
in this
Cratchit
community,
gloves?
It is
I
the
keep
secret
looking
government
at that
is
because even if he has
controlling,
carpal tunnel syndrome, why is it
or
so
hiding the
ratchet
existence
looking?
of aliens and trying to take over the world.
Like I have
Is it Gaia who's the cabal? Is it me and Roger and Adrian and Jay Widener and other people? We're the cabal? I don't think so. So Corey has done this whole thing and twisted it so that he can continue to live like a rock star.
On the website, it lists all the lawsuits. And those are the lawsuits that people know that they are
You know who has a lot of lawsuits
But you
also?
said that the
Who, Steph?
Jim Fetzer.
Oh.
When you see someone who gets wrapped up in a lot of lawsuits like this, and especially when they're in the conspiracy world or the adjacent world, it's all for fucking money and fame. And it's just, and it's also like we saw with Alex in the Texas defamation trial.
Yep.
You're constantly trying to pill just one more person.
And the longer they can draw it out, the more money they can grift. I watch Alex Jones sometimes, a couple times a week, just to see like what he's talking about, the hot topics. Like it's all they're going to shut us down any day. Oh, we got to fight the deep state and stuff. Like it raises
saying that
their level
anymore.
Well, no, he still is. But their anxiety level, and to sell more merch at their stores, and you've got to help keep the lights on, or you've got to do something amazing, you know.
But he's going to have to reinvent himself now because the deep state is gone. Like,
yeah, the deep state's been defeated. What now, Alex? You defeated the deep state.
See, that's why we're probably going to see an upswing in left-wing conspiracism, because the largest sect of the populace that gives into conspiratorial thinking is the one that has the least power. And you do see in certain marginalized communities where conspiracy theories are, like, oddly enough, Behold a Pale Horse has a huge African-American person of color audience, which is so
fascinating.
And if you look, literally the entire history of America and most of the world has been a conspiracy, literally against them, a systemic one.
Yeah.
So when you come from a marginalized background, you are going to be more likely to believe these things because you yourself or your relatives, your friends, your family historically were victims of these very real conspiracies.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't even know how I got on this topic, and I'm sorry, I might be a little stoned.
Hey, it happens, but it's it was a good, I don't know how we got there either. And I'm not.
Yeah,
stoned.
and I think it was just grifters or something. But
yeah, we were talking about grifters and lawsuits, and it just went that way. Hey,
but
this is the way our show works.
You see this all the time. I mean, and honestly, if
we were talking about Alex defeating the deep state. It's broken,
deep state,
and we talked about left wing now doing conspiracies.
And that you know, and we're probably. I don't even look at Stu's stuff. I really haven't checked much of what's going on in the world of the sewer online lately, just because the news itself is a sewer.
It is.
But, you know, it's always been the case throughout history that the group that has the least political control or power is going to be the ones to probably engage in a lot of like conspiracy theorizing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we saw it with the first Trump assassination attempt, where
ear truthers, ketchup packet truthers, blood truthers.
Yeah, and you know, they're like, oh well, we're on the left, so it's okay. It's like, no, you sound like the Sandy Hook hoaxers, so fuck you.
Well, we have Melania body double truthers are back on the left.
Oh, that was around back when I was still a conspiracy theorist. I was making fun of them because even when I was a conspiracy theorist, I was making fun of the earlobe people, the earlobe analysts.
I'm like, stop it. Like, you guys sound stupid on the left. It's ridiculous. Do you understand what you sound like?
And I have said this to people. I'm like, you know, like I have like this like enduring and weird attraction to Adam Driver. So I'll like download lots of pictures of him, normal ones, by the way. And sometimes he looks like a completely different person. It could be an image from the same movie, within the same 1 minute time period, but lighting makes you look different. The angle makes you look different. So it's like, take it from someone who stared at photos of hot actors obsessively. Like, the same person can look very, very different within
it's weird
a
how
5 second time
works,
frame.
Right?
Yeah.
Weird. Fucking people.
The funds are being used to fight dark forces, but you're saying my clients are not the dark forces?
No, I told you the dark
Digression
forces were the
junction.
cyber stalkers. Your clients are in league with those dark forces by assisting them and coordinating with them, the cyber stalkers. So I guess by that definition, yes, that I would like to change that. They would be the dark forces.
Okay, so my clients are the dark forces.
Well, he's got his tie loose and
by association, yes.
So what's this lawsuit all about? In April 2020, Corey filed a
Oh, here you
lawsuit
go.
against his former business associates for alleged breaches of contract and copyright. The defendants in this case, Leon Kennedy, Adrian Youngblood, and Roger Ramsor, had all worked with Corey on various aspects of his career.
Youngblood.
Roger had been
He
his
has two
manager and the
lawsuits. I made a
director of the
mistake. This is
SBA
this
Media
one.
documentary movies. He was directly responsible with Corey for the doxing and harassment of Bill Ryan, dark journalist, and many others.
Yeah, he doxed Bill Ryan.
Adrian had been the conference organizer and had also allowed Corey and
They
others to
always
invest
do
in her
this.
marijuana
Uh-huh.
fund. Corey alleges that he never received any product from that investment, as Adrian claimed the plants had died. Corey tried to claim the trademark as his own, despite the following. Throughout their time working together on DoD, Goode and Youngblood entered into numerous written and verbal agreements together tied to DoD, wherein Goode and Youngblood each held a 50% interest in DoD, as well as
Good
other
young
agreements
blood.
related to distributions of compensation received. Leon began working with Corey in 2018 at the direction of David Wilcock. Using his Hollywood connections, he was able to get Corey meetings with some of the top production houses in Los Angeles. This relationship fractured quickly, however, when Corey decided to withhold payments from percentage holders due to an internal audit. Leon became wary. Now, it may seem as baffling to you as it is to me that a man could sue his business partners for breach of contract and trademark and for owed money when it was he himself that withheld the money and had the bank account switched from the corporate account to his own personal bank account.
No, that's what grifters do.
Leon and
I'm not
Adrian
shocked.
had the lawsuit settled in April of 2024 after a period of negotiations that only occurred after the release of his 6-hour-long deposition on YouTube that quickly went viral. As of May 2024, the only remaining judgment is a motion for default judgment against Roger Ramsor.
Everyone that he disagrees with, he wants to get rid of them. And he puts this name on them: satanic, cabal, dark force, evil. Well, just because somebody disagreed with you, that doesn't mean they're evil, doesn't mean they're satanic. But that's this great team leader. That's
Jenny
this great
McCarthy
person
loves
who's
David
talked
Wilcock
about
and Corey
love
Goode.
and kindness and
Loves them.
forgiveness and all
Hey,
these things.
Jenny McCarthy,
Darcy,
go
when you
fuck
fall
yourself.
out,
Do you know how many
every
children you've
single
killed?
person that or entity that you come into contact.
I'm going to pull up something of hers, maybe next week or some other time. But I was searching for something of Jordan Sather's, and I came across her channel, and I was scrolling through, and 4 years ago, she had done an interview with Jordan Sather or David Wilcock. I can't remember which one. But within that 4-year time period, Benedict Cumberbatch was interviewed, D.L. Hughley, all these other actors. And I'm like, so 4 years ago, you guys were going on her show. But previous to that, she was still doubling down on Andrew Wakefield and his anti-vax theories. And that really crushed me that Benedict Cumberbatch went on her show, because I really love him and his advocacy for trans people and trans kids. And I was like, fuck, man. Yeah, a lot of people have gone on her show, but I digress. That really fucked me off, seeing people that had gone on her show to be interviewed after she's been so.
And
anyways,
I put the Jenny McCarthy body count link. You can they like did like some kind of math thing to guess how many children have been murdered because of the shit she's pumped out into the world.
Yeah, that's why I was so disheartened when I saw the people that were interviewed by her. I was like, fuck you guys.
And seriously, you're fucking and you healed your child from autism, then that means that either they didn't have autism in the first place, or maybe you're a fucking lunatic and you should not be speaking in public. You should shut the fuck up, because you're not a fucking doctor, you dumb fucking bitch.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm so sick
No,
of
don't
this
be
shit.
sorry. I'm
I'm
sick of this shit
and
too.
she infected fucking what's his name? Truman Show, Jim Carrey. She got him on when they were dating. She got him into the anti-vax shit. You know what? If your platform is calling children damaged, then fuck you. And I am not sorry.
Nope, I'm not sorry either.
Are not damaged. They may be disabled. There may be an issue. They are not damaged. And calling them damaged and blaming something that's in a fucking needle, go fuck yourself.
Yep.
Sorry,
Rubbing
I just had
spoons
to.
on them isn't an effective treatment. Fuck you.
I and the chelation therapy, the shit they put fucking bleach kids' assholes.
I know.
Cure them from autism.
I had to jump out because I was reading stuff about her after I came across that. And then I saw the people that were interviewed. I was like, fuck Jenny McCarthy. Fuck all the people that have been interviewed by fuck everybody. Like, I got angry. And I just logged off and I went over to Mina's stream because I was getting angry. Yeah. I got myself all riled up. Sorry about that stuff.
And I would like to point out that the only Trey Parker and Matt Stone film she was in was the worst one that they made.
Yeah,
Basketball.
gangster stuff is my favorite stuff too, Spencer.
Gangster stuff. I'm sorry, but this stuff is very passionate, and I've been a victim of it. And when you become a victim of this stuff, it literally is a zombie disease where you get infected and that person gets up and infects others, and they keep going and they keep going and they keep going. And like, I like that image from the original Dawn of the Dead, the original one, where he's in the elevator and the elevator opens and there's like 12 pairs of hands just reaching for him. That's what it's like with conspiracy theories now. You're not even pressing the button. The elevator's operating itself. And no matter what floor you get off on, there's going to be 12 hands just reaching to pull you in.
Yep. No, I agree. No arguments here.
And when there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
Yes. Yep. They're true statements. I know it's coming, and I'm going to get Jordan Sather's going to be coming up, and I'm going to get hot under the collar.
Then can you always be the one that's right and everybody else is wrong? So let's talk about me for a moment. Why am I in a lawsuit? That has cost me time, that has cost me money. He has smeared my name and reputation. He has said that I embezzled money. He has said that I forged contracts. He has said that I've messed up contracts, but no shred of evidence for anything, just out and out lies.
And you're accusing my clients of embezzling funds from you, right?
Yes.
And yet my client was personally guaranteeing on loans for the business to make sure you got monthly payroll, correct?
Yes.
You understand why that sounds ridiculous, right?
Everything was done completely ridiculous. It was in a ridiculous time.
Everything's just ridiculous.
Because why would someone embezzle if they're personally guaranteeing the business that's borrowing money to pay you your payroll?
There are no forged contracts, but he's such a diabolical liar. When I brought Jim Hart in, and for people that don't know who Jim Hart is the epitome of an A-list writer. Jim wrote Contact that starred Jodie Foster, one of the biggest sci-fi movies of all time. He wrote Bram Stoker's Dracula. He wrote Hook for Steven Spielberg,
starring
Dustin Hoffman
Robin Williams.
and Robin Williams. He wrote Lara Croft Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie, and I could go on and on and on. So I bring Jim in, and this is really toward the end of the
What, did John Voight
relationship
get under
with
his
Corey and I.
skin
We're-
or something?
I know, right?
Because John
odds
Voight
now
was
because
at the
he's
start of
taken
2
money
years.
from the team. He and Roger Richards had already had their falling out. And at this point, all I want to do is get the project done. I had given Jim the pitch. Jim was interested. I set up a telephone conference call with myself and Jim and Corey. And in the middle of the conversation, Corey says to Jim, now this took place maybe in April, this meeting. And Corey says, by the way, whatever agreement we come to, we're not going to be able to do anything until October. And that really turned Jim off. When we hung up, Jim said, what the hell are we talking about here, Leon? It's April. Why would we be waiting until October to go to work? It takes a long time to write a really good script. Why would we not be starting immediately? Well, the reason that Corey didn't want to start until October is the contract with Roger Richards and the rest of the team on 20 and Back would expire in October. So he thought
I just
I'll
wanted
just
to
wait
say
till the
that I
contract
noticed something very
expires,
interesting.
and then they'll all be gone. I can.
Yes.
And and it's kind of a compliment for the people who made this, is that you can tell, a lot of and we talked about this before, like some of the weird things that they were doing and some of the weird like images that they used, and some of them were still images. They don't have a lot of budget.
Yeah.
But this was a passion for them, and they really wanted this story told. So you could see that they're using like it's either stock images, like the guy with the breaking the clock. That
Yeah,
just
it
showed.
looks like they used Adobe, because that's a program I use, and a lot of the
Okay.
images feel very like Adobe Photo, but not Adobe Express, I think it's called. But you
But
can tell
but
it is
that's
a
so
passion
cool.
project, and they did a good job.
Yeah, and you could tell that obviously with seeing the bizarre, like weird recreations. I know they're probably not stock footage, but let's just kind of like call them stock footage with
Yeah.
air quotes. Like, they don't have a big amount of money behind it, but they made it, and they still made it, and they made it look good. And
Yeah.
and that, I think, that's I just want to point that out,
I agree.
because that is, and you see with like a lot of the conspiracy stuff, like with Zeitgeist, it's all like big budget, like like Michael Bay in your face shit.
Yeah.
Or it's just like Carrie Cassidy, where it's like half-assed, because she knows she doesn't have to try hard, because the people buying into her belief system are just like, oh yeah, I'll believe anything.
Exactly. No, I think
Yeah.
that's a good point. It's very valid. I thought so too. And
I think
like,
it's interesting. And
Yeah.
it shows that you can put out decent quality stuff about controversial topics without either being a conspiracy theorist and without it looking like shit. So kudos.
Yes, good point. Good point. That's very valid. That is a good observation.
Can just do it all myself. Of course, he doesn't really understand Writers Guild rules, that because Brandon and Dave and Roger and myself had all participated in the writing and the character development and so on and so forth, they would be protected under that, even though a contract had expired. But at any rate, this is just the way that Corey thinks and operates and dishonors
Corey's
things.
not a very
now,
smart man.
you had a story that could be laughable. It could be cartoonish. But you
I was like,
found
I
a
love
group
these
of
images.
people
Yeah.
that
These are
believed
great.
that gave you some credibility instead of saying, just get the
It's
hell out of my
almost like
office with this craziness.
they took an
They
improv
pumped a lot of
group
money into your
and
name.
said, act out this scenario. Like
Yeah.
these would be good improv exercises and stuff. But it's just really neat that they did that, so that the interview parts aren't too distracting. And I like it. I really
do
like
too.
it.
And into your show and into your career. And how do you repay them? By
And the
sabotaging
camera works good too.
the network,
Like it's a nice
by them
camera. they
threatening
use.
to sue them, by doing all types of despicable, evil things to try and make the stock go down. This man is just one of the most vindictive, darkest little human beings that I've ever seen. Hundreds of people have been on Gaia, having different TV shows and different personalities. Have any of them turned around and sued Gaia? Have any of them called Gaia a satanic network and called the owner of Gaia satanic?
I'm gonna guess no.
Or the cabal or a dark force? Nobody but Corey Goode.
And David Wilcock.
Having been in radio,
See,
I know
here's another.
that, you have...
I appreciate this about them too. Even though this guy is very sympathetic to David Wilcock, the interviewers slip that in. They're like, and David Wilcock. Like, he may be your friend, but don't leave out that David Wilcock called them satanic and is against them too. He may be your pal, but David Wilcock's a piece of shit too.
And I also wanted to point out, and someone please correct me if I'm wrong, because this has been my experience. When when people are throwing around these like insulting terms, especially like in the conspiracy community, it's often called Satanism.
Yes.
When you refer to it as Luciferianism, there is like a darker connotation to it. And it's also usually, and like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, because this has been my experience. The people who prefer the term Luciferianism over Satanism tend to be a little bit further along the fringe. You know what I mean? Like they have to dig, like it's digging.
I often hear, I'm trying to think, because a lot of times I hear satanic a lot more than Luciferian. I'm trying to think of my loved ones post versus, I'm going to have to ponder that. That's something to think on. I'm going to put that in my pipe and smoke it and think on that.
And that's just something, that I have personally come across. That may just be my experience, but the Luciferianism, you're kind of, because I actually wrote a fiction novel many years ago that no one will probably ever see, and it was about like the war in heaven and stuff like that. So I did a lot of digging into like the angelology. I was basically studying bullshit, and the image of Lucifer as the morning star, you're getting in deeper when you're getting into Lucifer. Like there's a depth.
That makes sense.
A depth. And that goes, and you can like kind of trace it back to like ancient stuff. And of course, you're going into the Bible, the fall of Lucifer and all that. What else happened in the book of Genesis? The sons of God came onto the daughters of man. And that was like the Anunnaki stuff. So,
that makes sense.
That's where it kind of, you see
I'll have to
it,
pay attention now. Yeah, I never.
And correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I can't correct you if you're wrong, because I haven't paid attention or noted that. That's just something now that I'm going to keep a closer eye on and look out for.
2 hours, 3 hours set aside to interview someone. And then someone's going to give you a cease and desist
Ascension?
a couple hours before airtime. You're not supposed to bring this person on because I don't want you to bring them on. Are you crazy, Corey Goode? Are you crazy? But anyway, Jimmy and his wife Rita did not honor the cease and desist, went on and put the person on. And now they became an enemy of Corey Goode. And he went out to try and destroy them.
I've worked with everybody at this table. I've worked with all of them. Corey's approach and Roger's approach has been a multimedia, whether it's YouTube, it's online, it's graphic novels, it's a huge web presence, and also coming on the air with me, not only on Coast to Coast AM, but Fade to Black, and nothing but wanting to speak to all of you and bringing this knowledge forward. That's how important this film is. This film and what it represents is something that you can be proud of, and you know now that we have arrived. And again, it's the most important thing for me is the community.
Now, let me backtrack a moment. I didn't know these things were going on when I was first working with Corey. I didn't know until later about the doxing or the so-called GEM organization, GEM, where he was trying to come against Gaia, saying that there was an inside rebellion, or the way he delighted anytime Gaia's stock went down. I found out much more after the lawsuit was announced. Many people came afterwards to say what this
that is a lot of wine for a meeting room,
right? He was. Women
they must have been
that he has
the entire time.
Surprised they don't just have K drips. I mean, it's Gaia.
And on and on. Other people that he has compromised by devious ways, which will come out. Part of what can be confusing about Corey is that he comes across.
Wait. What's a flying rainbow lasagna?
And there's a part of him that is.
Wait, what?
They just flashed up like a flyer with a bunch of people on it, and underneath one lady's picture, it said "Flying Rainbow Lasagna."
And again, it's the most important thing for me is the community.
I was telling Hunter to go see Daddy, and I missed that.
I didn't know these things were going on when I was first working with Corey. I didn't know until later about the doxing.
It's coming up.
The so-called GEM organization, GEM, where he was trying to come against Gaia, saying that there was an inside rebellion, or the way he delighted anytime Gaia's stock went down. I found out much more after the lawsuit was announced. Many people came afterwards to say what this little man did and how dark and vindictive he was. Women that he has hurt and used and manipulated, and on and on. Other people that he has compromised by devious ways, which will come out.
Oh,
Part
wait,
of what can
I
be
just saw it. Shit.
many people came afterwards to say what this little man did and how dark and vindictive he was. Women that he has hurt and used and manipulated, and on and on. Other people that he has compromised by devious.
That would be Aurora flying rainbow lasagna.
I like, if I didn't know it was attached to a bunch of quacks, like, I'd be like, that's so awesome. Flying rainbow lasagna. I wonder if she's trying to do like a new age version of the flying spaghetti monster or something.
Oh, thank you, Tommy Tatum's voice. He actually is one of my friends that is actually religious and does practice his faith. And he said the name Lucifer was mentioned once in the Bible, and he's actually Christ Jesus, and he can prove it with scripture. Much love. Like, he does actually practice his faith. Very good friend. So I do believe what he is saying with talking about scripture. So I do appreciate that perspective that Lucifer is mentioned once in the Bible. So thank you for that perspective, Ed.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a big role. And also, when in the depictions of the 7 deadly sins, and I only know this because I have tattoos of them, Satan and Lucifer are 2 separate entities. Like, my tattoo of the figure of Satan represents, and each one has a scroll underneath the demon. Satan represents anger, Lucifer represents pride. So they're generally considered to be the same deity, but apparently, like, there's like, they're not, or something. It's really
weird. I don't know much about that. Like, in Roman Catholicism, like, we were taught, they scare the shit out of us about a lot of stuff when I was growing up, and it was all 10 commandments and, a lot of stand, sit, like, it wasn't very pleasant, and I hated it. I hated CCD, so my knowledge is very limited on that kind of stuff. A lot of fear.
Yeah, but this whole like cast of characters is just interesting. I think I've heard of Fresh and Alive, maybe.
I'm looking
I might have heard of that.
Let's see, Jordan Sather, of course.
And the Vatican theologian, he can't actually be part of the Vatican. They would never, like, you need their permission to do an exorcism. Like, there's a process for
exactly. And I do know they revised it. When I worked for Catholic Charities, I was a counselor there. I did a million different and one hats. They had revised their exorcism rituals. I forget what it's exactly called. And I was working there, let's see, 2000 and mid 2000s. So, I mean, they even revised the rights and everything for it. So, I mean, they don't just willy-nilly, anybody gets to go in,
he was in, I looked up this Dr. Michael guy. He was in What the Bleep Do We Know, which is like linked to like that one cult or whatever. But when I saw that was the first thing that like jumped out. I'm like, okay, there you go.
We got some guy with some crazy ranch name. Secret Space. Oh, Soul Focus Hypnosis. Okay. Yeah, come on. Edge of Wonder. Yeah, I don't think these people are very reputable.
These sound like weed strains.
Yeah. I think Flying Rainbow Lasagna did weed and it withered, and she might have been one of the people that Corey Goode had the lawsuit against. Like, she sued him.
And also,
one of the people had
she's
a weed
not
ranch.
to be Oh, okay. Well, she's not to be trusted because her name is the same as the city where that horrible false flag occurred.
Oh.
You
That's
cannot
right.
trust
Now we're
them.
talking.
Which will come out. Part of what can be confusing about Corey is that he comes across as this very likable, easygoing guy.
Yes, son of morning.
And there's a part of him that is very likable. As a matter of fact, at one time, I had a great love for him. But then there's this other side of him that is a very dark side and a very vindictive, diabolical side. And if you get in his crosshairs, he would do anything to stop you.
Oh, he retracted.
And
So she's
naming
not.
your cyber stalking group, giving a name to who gave the name? Was it the accusers giving them the name, or did they call themselves that?
Hold on. Oh, whoops, wrong screen. You can't do that, Shelby. Here we go. Let me get ready to pause here. Corey, this group sued Corey.
But did they give themselves a Dark Alliance name, or did Corey give them that name?
Corey
Corey
called them the Dark Alliance.
That just what? Again, this is another common feature where they have to make things sound like a fucking Tom Clancy novel.
Yeah.
Like nothing can ever just be this group of people that are harassing me. There's always got to be some like LARPy. God, look, just fucking.
If you
play
remember
Dungeons
from
and
the
Dragons,
I
leave us
know.
alone.
The part one we watched of this, it was him, Jordan Sather, a whole bunch, and they would tell them, okay, attack this person, send out this message, everybody post this Facebook post. Now attack this person. Those were considered the Dark Alliance they had to attack because they spoke bad about Corey. So he had a whole bunch of people do his dirty work. Yeah. High schoolers.
This is not this. The internet has just destroyed any possible level of actual communication, and it has downgraded people's intelligence and emotional maturity too, because everybody just thinks that they can just fucking pile on people no matter. Oh, I'm pretty sure that this parent's kid never really died in this false flag shooting, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fucking dox the shit out. You're all a bunch of immature assholes when you do this kind of shit. Like doxing a Nazi or trying to help like law enforcement search down someone who murdered someone. No, that's not the same thing. Okay.
No.
You're actually like what a lot of the legitimate January 6th researchers did.
The sedition hunters did great work.
Yes. Then but you could say, oh well, that's doxing. There's a big difference. You know, they're not fail doxing. And they're not doxing some asshole who's just sitting at home and has a different opinion of them, or someone that they're accusing of being a crazy actor. I'm sorry. It's just so insane, and it's so maddening and so frustrating and so infuriating that these people, and I tell everyone this, I am so stunted maturity-wise. I'm 48. I'm still fucking growing up. And this shit, these people are just going to be like this the rest of their fucking life, and they're just going to pull other people down with them. And instead of engaging with reality and genuine human emotions and how to talk to another human being, they're just going to, oh, you're a jerk, you're a poopy head.
I know you am, but what are
yeah.
And I think we're in greater danger now because Trump is president again. And not only do we have
the J6 stuff has been erased from the government website.
I saw that. And so we have them all emboldened, and the conspiracy theorists and the J6ers. And now we have Blue Anon, and not even Blue Anon, but I've seen an increase in people who aren't Blue Anon, like even people I followed and people I know, retweeting their stuff because it's giving them hope again in this Trump administration, because people are grasping at anything they can. And we're at a dangerous, point right now, at a tipping point of information.
And we can't, and if when I came out of the conspiracy theories, I was getting into some of the Blue Non stuff was attractive to me because it specifically focused on my, even when I was a conspiracy theorist, I still leaned more towards the left, but you're always going to get pulled towards the right, whether you know it or not in that world. And, I just never, where was I going with this? God damn it.
Blue Anon and hopium and getting pulled towards
Right,
it.
right.
Yeah.
So it appealed to me coming out the other end. And then I realized, this is still conspiracy theories. And just because it's something that, just like the 9/11 conspiracy theories appealed to what I thought had happened in 9/11. And then I realized, oh, that's all bullshit. Same with the Blue Non stuff. But you are, like I said yesterday on Blue Sky, keep an eye on your loved ones. There's going to be more of this. And
yes,
anyone, and I like that word, dishonesty of zealotry. Yes, I love that. Ooh, I might steal that, but I'll give you credit. But the whole just we are at such a bad tipping point, and people realize the amount of money to be made.
Oh yeah.
And nobody and it's a reaction to the unfairness of capitalism that pushes people into some of this, these influencer positions. They want to make the money. They want the fame. They want the notoriety. But the shit that they're talking about is damaging other people. But you get to a point where you can be okay with that. You can make that work in your brain because, oh yeah, you may have a little bit of trouble falling asleep at first, but that $1,000 mattress that you can afford now will sure help you.
Uh-huh. Well, and
so
I've admitted previously, like when Trump first got elected president, it was a terrifying time for everybody. And there were a few accounts I followed that gave that hopium feel. They did, and I followed them, but it wasn't for very long. And I was like, whoa, some of this stuff is not and I backed out of it. Like I fully admit, I get why people want that hopium. I get it.
Yeah.
But you have to hit at some point where you're looking at this stuff going, Mahler's not going to fix everything. Like he didn't, and I never followed Mueller, she wrote. Like I followed her, I think, for a little bit in the beginning, but I didn't fall for the podcast. And when people started putting out information, I was like, but there were different accounts I followed that I thought, oh, they're putting out some good information. But then I was like, all they're doing is like post every day. There's no solutions here. There's no answers. They're not sharing anything.
And
they're just reposting.
There never will be. And that's how you can differentiate when someone's selling you bullshit and when they're selling you reality. Like if you came to me right now and you were to say, what is one thing that is absolutely just driving you out of your mind? And for me, it's like the immigration issue right now. Now, if I were a conspiracy theorist, I would tell you it's wrong that they're doing this to people. But what can you do? And honestly, I don't have much that I know that I could offer to people to do, but you can support community efforts. You can go to protests. You can speak out. That I'm not telling you, I'm telling you it doesn't look good, but here are some things that you can do. David Icke never has a solution for how you beat the fourth dimensional prison wardens that keep us in this matrix. It's love. Love is the answer. Oh, I'm loving as hard as I can, David, but nothing has changed.
No.
And you know, and with like, oh, thoughts and prayers.
That doesn't help anyone.
That's so you can sit at home and feel good. And yeah, most of us do have to sit at home and we want to feel good anyway, but there are better ways to do it than thoughts and prayers or love. You can help people, you can share GoFundMes, you can share mutual aid, you can do what you can, but the point is when someone's giving you a real problem, there are solutions.
Yes. And that's why I sought out today, and I messaged you before we even did our Zoom. I said, I talked to some friends of mine, and I asked them, hey, do you have resources? We'll do the beginning of our stream, and I hope we can keep doing that. And I don't think we'll run out of mutual aids or resources. We have a huge country. There's no way that we can, but it's the least we can do. I feel helpless. Writing and tweeting about it like Jim does, and being angry and subscribe to my Substack and his stupid rad pod, they don't do jack shit. I've never seen him share a resource. How are you helping, Jim? You're not doing jack shit. It's hopium, it's blue rage, it's rage farming.
Exactly. And I call it FUD for food. FUD is the principle upon which most capitalism works. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Yeah.
And the way to see if it's true or not, okay? Like, all right, NBC reports, oh shit, things are looking really bad. The country might fall, whatever. That's not like fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And then they're selling you that, and they're the only ones that have the solution to counter it, but you have to pay for it. FUD for food is what I call it when, hey, here's this problem, for example, like saying something like every piece of like meat in the entire American economy is infected with, mad cow disease, and we just don't know. Okay, so what's the solution? Well, I don't know, but think about that and let it ruin your life for a while. Or, oh, hey, but I have this special cure. It's holistic. And you take it and it prevents you from catching mad cow. They sell you the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and then they either don't have a solution or their solution is buying your fucking products. And even that solution is bullshit.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
I'm sorry for being so long-winded and like.
No, and I wanted to talk about that too. And I think it's important to talk about this particular aspect of it. I mean, it really is. We're at a crossroads and a implosion point at this. We're coming both angles right now.
Scary.
Like it's from the right and it's from liberals, and it's crushing us.
And like even when I try and tune out and play my Sims, like I still see these like little notifications in the corner on my computer screen, and I'm like, what did he fucking break now? It's like I'm trying to tune out and ruin the lives of fake creatures, and I just keep seeing how a real creature keeps ruining ours.
I know. Oh gosh. This is the link to Spencer. Oh my God, Spencer's podcast, and within that you will find the episode on his. Why can't I think of the name of it?
1 week previous to meeting with Leon, we had met up with Jordan Sather in Redding, California. In the years since he left Corey's organization, he's continued his citizen journalist work. We even had an interesting chat about QAnon. We drove out to McLeod, California, the location of the Eclipse of Disclosure conference that was held in 2017, to get his perspective on the inner workings of the group dynamics surrounding Corey and how that would be invaluable to understanding why and how this small group of fanatics would follow him.
The documentary was ready to come out. That's when I started working with David. And I said to David, well, Jordan is getting 15%. What percentage are you getting?
I am going to have a lot of things to say on Jordan Sather, so I might pause a lot because I pulled up some stuff and he really grinds my gears.
And he said, well, I don't know. So I called Corey, and I said, Corey, I'm calling on behalf of David. How much of a percentage is David going to get?
So, do you want like a energy drink or anything?
Corey said to me, I'm not giving David a percentage. Well, Jordan is getting 15%. What percentage are you getting?
This is where we had the speakers lunches and all that.
So like when we came in recently even, and like there's a sleeping bag on the floor, and someone says that there's treasures up there, so people were breaking in.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's crazy. So
Did they find that gold? Holy shit.
What?
David Wilcock was wearing that last night.
Oh, I really love this outfit.
That's what Alex
I just
Jones
was
would
like,
say.
you know what? Why not go all the way? Let's just
wore
go
a
all the
stupid
way. I've
fucking
got
white
sequin
tux
shoes on
with
again.
You know
shiny
who?
shoes.
You know
I'll give
who
the
could
camera
play
four shot
him?
on the sequin shoe again. Go, wow, David's so dead.
I just realized that he kind of looks like the one guy from Step Brothers, the guy with the curly hair.
Oh, what's his name?
The faces that David was just making. He looks like him.
I can't think of his name. Oh shit! All I'm coming up with
Someone-
is Will Ferrell, the other actor. I can't think of his name.
Oh, hold
I
on,
know who
I'm-
you're
I'm
talking
looking
about.
it up.
Dexter
but
Slauson. No.
He does look. Yeah, the faces he makes. John C.
Yeah.
Riley. Is that his
Can
name?
I wear this?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
This guy.
There you go. Spence got it too.
It's kind of like a
That
tongue-in-cheek
when he
joke
was making
on,
those faces.
a
He's a
dude
crisis
who
actor. That's
wears
really
really
John C.
Oh.
Riley.
That is crisis actor.
So-
That's funny.
he has boots too.
I love that
it's
he
David
found an
Wilcock.
outfit.
Have you ever heard of
I
him?
appreciate this guy. He found an outfit in this place, and he's like, "I'm gonna dress like."
And the name of the town hanging up in the background? Hangtown?
It's where they had their last. In 2017, they had a festival there.
I
it's
know,
the
but
last-
it seems a little.
I know.
Yeah.
Uh,
The festival. What about
He has, like, a-
that?
and they had it in 2017,
And,
so he went to revisit it
he
with Jordan Sather.
Pretty much like convinces people that he
Memories.
speaks to Archangel Michael. and
He's
stuff like that.
he's been a new age author for a few decades, and he's done work in the UFO world, consciousness world, that kind of stuff, alternative physics. But he goes from like grift to grift,
Like
to
you,
grift,
Jordan.
narrative to narrative, and recently
The way
Selling bleach to people to drink.
releasing $100 ebooks about it. And
You don't need to touch
I just wanted to
yeah.
say something about
It's
him.
amazing. I'll put it back. I won't get it dirty.
When the Negative 48 cult started meeting in Dealey Plaza, and it
Yeah.
escalated very, very quickly. Jordan Sather was one of the first QAnon influencers to come out and say, this is wrong, this is evil. And Poker's come back to that, and I fully agree with it, is fuck you, you sold this shit. Negative 48 might not have taken off if it weren't for influencers like Jordan Sather. So
I agree 100%. 100%.
piece
Speaking
of
poker,
shit.
hang on 1 second, because he posted something excellent, and I wanted to read it tonight because I bookmarked it on my Twitter, and I thought it was so poignant that I made a note of bookmarking it because I liked it so much. Hang on 1 second. Twitter has been running so shit today.
It is like, and whenever I log on there, it's like fucking tumbleweeds.
I know you guys can't probably see it, but it says being pilled is not the same as being stupid. A stupid person can be tricked because they don't understand something. A pilled person can be tricked because they want to believe they are smarter than everyone else and they know the secret truth. Being pilled gives you a sense of smugness. As insufferable as I am, as the Oswald did it guy, I was far worse when I was living on the grassy knoll. All the stuff I recite now, I could do the opposite then. And boy, would I tell you all about it. I knew 9/11 was done by W, so he could steal Iraq's oil. That's the thing about being pilled. It's confirming your priors. It's you being proven right. Only you're taking the step across the threshold from reality to fantasy. You might think that's easy to see, but it's not. Let's say you hate Hillary. It's true people died in Benghazi when she was Secretary of State. And that's posted as a question. Yes. Did she have a private email server? Yes. Did she support her evil husband when he was president? Of course. This is all reality. Did she kill Vince Foster? Seth Rich? Would you be crazy as a Republican to think these things? These ideas were promoted by countless right-wingers. Now imagine you think she killed Vince Foster, but you reject the Hillary face carving video. You still think you're sane. You're not like those QAnon freaks. You have good reason to think she killed Vince Foster. You've seen the evidence. You did your own research. You're still in reality, not fantasy. You think Obama's a Muslim, but the birtherism is a bridge too far. You think COVID was a bioweapon, but it wasn't made in Ukraine. You're a crank, but you can't see it because there are bigger, more insane cranks that make you feel normal by comparison. And to those cranks, they see you as somebody still clinging to a lie. You just can't accept that it's not the deep state doing all the bad stuff. It's the deep state. And guess what? They did their own research. They found the truth, and one day you'll find it too. So you're all swimming in a fantasy world, and you don't even know it. You might be a few steps closer to reality than the other guys, but you're still not living in reality. And given your biases, how much work would it really take to push you to total crankdom? Bush doing 9/11 was a fantasy, but I wanted to believe it, so I made it reality. No planers or Mossad did it. That's crank stuff. I didn't even know I was living in fantasy. I thought I was normal. I thought everybody was pilled like I was. That's the insidious nature of being pilled, is that you don't even notice that you're pilled. You don't think you're wrong. It's the normies that are wrong. It's that they are living in a fantasy. It's that you are living in reality, that Joe Biden is being played by 3 actors. I thought that was very poignant to what we were doing today.
That is just, sorry, I made the okay symbol. I didn't mean it that way. I was trying to say,
Yeah. And I thought that just perfectly encapsulated.
And I really like that more and more people are speaking about these past bad beliefs. I really, really like that. It warms me.
And when I read that today, I thought, wow, like to be able to share that, first of all. And then second of all, because and it was right at that moment when I had talked to Poker and I was looking for more information on Jordan Sather. And I was talking to Karma and I had talked to Sassy too. And it's exactly what Jordan Sather's going to do here. They're talking to him and he's like, whoa, Corey Goode was wild and this stuff he was talking about. But I am not that crazy. The stuff they're talking about. Like, I wouldn't go that far. That's a bridge too far.
Right.
And that's exactly what Poker proposed and was talking about in that thread.
And I kind of experienced that where I was like, oh, well, no planes. Yeah, I knew deep down that was kind of drastic. And but I had the comfort of knowing, at least I believe that some people died that day. Like,
yeah,
that and I would be like, oh, well, I don't think Sandy Hook's were like, I was actually at one point I was just calling everything fake, but at one point I actually did try to stop to figure out which ones were real and which weren't.
Yeah.
And but the more pilled you become, that shuts off. And I didn't get to listen to the whole thing, but on today's Knowledge Fight episode, Dan and Jordan Dan specifically says, he plays a clip and he says, here Alex is training his audience to believe. And that's the perfect word, train, because you don't, I mean, I guess nowadays it's easier for people to jump full into the everything's fake ideology because it's so prevalent. But there was a time, and I think there is a time in every conspiracy theorist's life where they battle with what is real and what isn't, and what's a step too far. And, you people like Jordan and, Jordan say they're set up with the negative 48 stuff, but that it is a way to normalize what you deep down secretly know is a manifestation of a mental illness. You know you sound fucking crazy, but if you can say I don't sound as crazy as then
Yeah. But I picked up on that, and I thought it was just I wanted to share it because I thought poker took a lot of time and effort to share that story.
That was brilliantly written. It was beautiful, and it was so. And the fact that he was using his own experience is important, because speaking from that place of experience, they may not listen to anyone. They may not even listen to us. But if you're trying to break free from all this shit, you're going to be more likely to listen to someone who went through it.
Yes, exactly.
Promise.
Yeah, have fun.
Thank you.
Have as much fun as
I'm
you
gonna
can.
have a ton of fun in this.
Because I took the building once, it's fun now.
Yeah.
And after COVID, I think that's what we all need, is fun and dancing.
Ghost. It feels positive. It's not a bad haunted.
Yeah, right?
They're fun
It's
ghosts.
dancing haunted.
Yeah.
And it's Sarah's to come in and see me in the office. But I'm like, really?
Yeah, what? Is that for
That's like the extra secret stuff that you know is there.
That's what the gold was, right? That's only for the Anunnaki to reach?
Exactly. Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay, I remember venturing up this staircase.
So this is where the ghost stays. The ghost that is here, I just remembered, is a child that sits on the stairs. Really? Yeah.
When we did Eclipse of Disclosure in 2017, I think the speakers, I can't remember if it was Corey or David, one of them were staying in this area, and this is the top talent room.
The green room.
The green room, yeah.
And is this where Corey had to put his face on?
Yeah, that's where he had to write his story beforehand to memorize his lines, right? What happened in this room?
Lies. Grifting.
Let's go back to the beginning. I first met Corey and David. Well, let me back up a little bit from there. So I started making YouTube videos at the end of 2016. What's going on YouTube? It's July 1st, and we're sitting here at Easteddy Ranch, the ranch of the one and only James Gilliland. And check this out. Check out the mountain. And just like you said, I talked about a variety of different subjects, from politics.
What is 4chan? What is QAnon? And what kind of information is being put out there that is revealing what really goes on behind the scenes?
To health subjects, but I had always been interested in the UFO phenomenon, hidden energy technologies. What does the government really know or not know about that subject?
This is like a Blue Book 2.0. So they're not trying to discredit all the issues. They're trying to bring them in, legitimize them, but then manage and sanitize it. How easy could they sanitize their own, all these sightings, and say which ones might be an alien, which ones they want us to think might be a secret space program craft? It would be so easy for them to control the narrative that way.
So at the end of 2016, I started making YouTube videos on a channel called Destroying the Illusion about all these different subjects. And it blew up pretty quickly. I think it took a couple of months. And I was maybe at 10,000 subscribers or 15,000 subscribers or something like that. And because I was making videos about the UFO subject and talking about some of
the
cover up, but also the, let's call them alleged secret space program insiders and some of the information that the whistleblowers were coming out. I was contacted by Roger Ramso or Roger Richards, who at the time was Corey Goode's business partner, manager, something to that effect. I believe he contacted me in about March 2017. He basically said, hey, we like what you're doing. Do you want to kind of work with us? I think he even made me a quick few-second intro for YouTube videos to use. So, he sent me that file. Then I kind of became acquainted with Roger at the time. And then a few months later, this was June 2017, was when I made my way out to Contact in the Desert, when it was still held in Joshua Tree. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this video of my Contact in the Desert presentation for 2019. What am I going to talk about here? Well, a lot of fantastic information. I talk about deep state infiltration into ufology. I connect a lot of big deep state players like John Podesta and Hillary Clinton to ufology. I detail their interest in it. I also really light up this mainstream, limited hangout, half-truth disclosure, as I call it, we're seeing in the mainstream right now regarding UFOs. And lastly, I discuss how the Trump administration is already disclosing the reality of UFOs and the existence of extraterrestrials through QAnon. I went out to Contact in the Desert, and that's where I met Corey Goode for the very first time. So I had been following David Wilcock and Corey Goode since about 2011. I think I came across David Wilcock right after his first book came out, The Source Field Investigations, which was, decent work. The work back then, 10, 12 years ago, for the most part, I think was much more respectable.
He thought he was Edgar Casey
than some of what's gone on in the past few years.
And he never really said they were.
Start the new year with a fresh look from Belfort Furniture. There are more reasons why Belfort is your #1 furniture store. More of your favorite brands and more best sellers. More in stock for quick delivery or custom order to get exactly the look you want. All the latest styles from every budget, and always more savings. Come see why Belfort has been voted the best furniture store over and over.
So much damage
Stop
to
in
people,
and save.
and still are.
The New Year's celebration at Belfort, Washington's largest furniture and mattress store.
Reptilians, but he got pretty close. In fact, actually, he did. There were certain times that he did say these beings were reptilians.
Anyway, after the Source Field Investigations, I found his blog called The Divine Cosmos at the time. Man, I remember in mid-2012 reading articles on his blog about mass arrests coming.
Mass
the
arrests,
mass arrests are coming. I believe it was June 2012 when he said they're imminent. Imminent 11 years later, here we are, right?
Yeah, he's missed at least 3. Y2K, he was saying the world would end. And we would all ascend these meta beings.
Over the past 3 years, it's been like 3 a month.
He did decent work back then.
WikiLeaks dropping new files in summer 2020. They didn't drop any new files. That was internet clickbait. I think if you look up sensational in the dictionary, you'll probably find
with your picture beside it.
There. I had been following, just for a little backstory, I'd been following Wilcock for 12 years now, and then I remember when his insider hopped onto the scene. It was about 2014 when Corey Goode came out. They were doing articles on him. He was doing interviewing with David Wilcock. I believe he did some interviews with Dr. Michael Salla, possibly. Can't quite remember who exactly he was talking to at the time.
Oh, you can't remember? There's a picture of you right beside him. I love these documentaries.
Young and dumb. I didn't have anybody to help me discern this with. I was living in Washington and, going down all the rabbit holes I could. But of course, in many people's lives, when they first start getting red-pilled or waking up to a lot of this alternative stuff, they get ostracized from people. And this was in the very early days of social media, so we didn't quite have the online community of people to be able to talk about this stuff and put brains together and critically think through what's real, what's not.
Right.
Because unfortunately, in the conspiracy world or the quote-unquote truth or disclosure movement, there's so much clickbait. There's so much disinformation, over-exaggerated, sensationalized garbage for the most part. So
you were swept up in this.
I was swept up in a lot of it. Corey came out in 2014, 2015 timeframe, and I believed he was a insider, or whatever they call them, secret space program whistleblower, whatever they were calling themselves. I started doing the YouTube videos, the YouTube channel at the end of 2016.
What's up, YouTube? Jordan Sather, July 5th, back in the homeland. I was at East City Ranch last weekend where I had an absolutely amazing time.
I was contacted within the first 3 or 4 months of me doing the channel by Corey Goode's team, by Roger. And I don't remember how many subscribers I had at the time, maybe 15, 20,000 YouTube subscribers.
Sounds like you were making money,
I was
Jordan.
getting more subscribers on my channels.
But you didn't understand social media.
I was becoming more valuable to them because they saw the opportunity of having, hey, look at this young guy. He's getting an audience. we can use that. We can use him, his energy, his audience to our advantage and help get our word out there, have, work with him to have him promote our stuff.
Younger crowd.
Right, exactly. Go for the younger crowd. I'll go through a few of the kind of events and conferences that I did with them. So the first time I met Corey and Corey's team was at Contact in the Desert in 2017.
Poor Lion
and then it was
died for that shirt.
quickly, my gosh, I think I might have been flying to an event a month with them, whatever it might have been. The MUFON conference in 2017.
In Las Vegas for the MUFON Symposium.
That's actually where I interviewed Bill Tompkins, which I'm sure we'll get to in a little
You
bit.
took advantage of it.
I think in August
Senile elderly
2017
man.
was when we did Eclipse of Disclosure right here in this building years ago. So I can't quite remember, but it was doing a lot of work with them. Successive, right? And then Contact in the Desert 2018. That's where they had it at the first time at the big fancy hotel, Indian Wells. For whatever reason, they moved it there.
5-star hotel.
Yeah, I guess so many people were going and an older crowd was
QAnon
starting to
had
join them,
exploded.
so they didn't want to have it outside of Joshua Tree, inside air conditioning. Okay, understand.
They don't want people dying.
Totally understand. And I did not speak there at that event quite yet, but I flew there to be with Corey and his team, and I don't think I had met David quite yet. Maybe I did. No, I don't think I met David till the end of 2018, but I remember I met David for the first time at Corey's house in Colorado. So we were planning some project.
Majestic?
Maybe a film.
I think we were planning a webinar series. So they were selling a webinar series on the Secret Space program.
Grifters.
Yes, I think it was through, what did Corey call his brand? Sphere Being Alliance? Sphere Being Alliance? I think it was through that. Might have even had its own URL or its own website, but it was through that. Anyway, that's first time I'd met David. I think Emery might have even been there too.
Oh, this guy's
So
a
the three of
gem.
them, and we were
He'd broken off as Dr. Greer's security guard at this point.
correct. So he had broken off from being whatever he was with Greer's team to, becoming
Sphere Being Alliance SSP astronaut.
He claimed to would work in
thousands of surgeries.
Claimed to would work at Sandia Labs in New Mexico and done thousands of surgeries on little ET beings, and his proof was like that little being thing that Greer had, right? When Greer did his
to be just a
incredible
baby.
Yeah, Greer did his Sirius doc in 2012, and we have a little alien thing that's this big. And I remember in one of the Contact in the Desert, 2018 or 19, Emery, to wow his audience, he brought that little being, but it wasn't that being. It was like a mold or a cast or a replica of it, right? So we didn't even know if the original one was fake, and then he brought a replica of the possibly fake original one. It was
insane.
What a story. Actually, I remember 2018 at that Contact in the Desert, we were heavily working on Above Majestic then. So getting into Above Majestic now, the documentary where I have a production credit on it with Corey and Roger worked on it. David was in it as well. So
Above Majestic
that
is
started
so bad.
at
I tried to watch it. I never finished
MUFON
it.
in 2017.
We're just on a little time frame, and these people out here will kill us all if they don't get their questions in at the end of the day.
Okay, let me just talk a little, all right? In Douglas aircraft,
Let me just say, keep an eye on me. If I'm smiling, it's okay. And if I'm frowning, you might want to wrap it up.
Smile. Okay, come on.
Something you may have noticed while watching this window into the New Age SSP world, the NASSP, did we just circumvent the trademark for a second and create our own terminology? You're goddamn right we did. Is that both David and Corey have a penchant for using elderly
I'm going
sources?
to pause there real quick because they're going to go back and they're going to talk to Jordan Sather. But I just want to show you Jordan's Twitter page here real quick and what Jordan's really excited about these days because he's playing all shucks. I bookmarked it. Where you at, Jordan? It appears Jordan is going to be in a space today. Okay, here we go. Share this tab instead. Okay, so Jordan he wants to dust off Gitmo, fill Gitmo with illegal immigrants and criminals, send illegals back to home countries. Empty Gitmo will be ready for more. Wonder who will be filling up the prison then. And then we have, that's about aliens. Where is the one where he is really, oh, here we go. I bookmarked it. RFK Jr. just mentioned Trump was looking at chlorine dioxide as a treatment for COVID. Fire emoji. Of course, that didn't happen because Big Pharma media labeled anyone that talked about it as a, quote, toxic death bleach drinker. So Jordan is very, very excited about that coming back. Like, he cannot wait to drink bleach again. And then he also...
So many people going to... so many lives are going to be lost in the next 4 years.
I know.
And that's not me making a threat towards people. That's me saying that with they're taking away the lack of, they're trying to destroy every regulatory road stop that is out there. They're, like, how, Jesus, I just don't, like, so many people are going to fucking die. So many.
It's not only is the Trump administration, not only was Trump being elected dangerous, like, yeah, he's a danger. It is that he is just signing paperwork, doesn't even care. And the people that are being put in the positions of power are extremely dangerous this fucking time. Not that they weren't the first administration, but there were still some kind of guardrails within it and some people that had a sense of decency.
And it was
even
like
if I disagreed with them, but they did.
Yeah, and they didn't know exactly what they were doing the first time because no one expected to win. And this time, Trump knew that his entire future depended on him winning.
Yes.
And they
exactly.
Had 4 years in office, and then they had 4 bitter years in between to sit and scheme and plot. And that's why everything we thought he was going to do the first time, he actually is fucking doing. And it's horrifying. And there are no more road stops. And I'm sorry, I'll shut up now.
No, you're fine. No, don't ever be sorry for voicing your opinion or talking when we're here. This is what we're here to do.
It's way too easy to get super dark right now, so I'm trying not to.
Let's see what else. Jordan Sather, mRNA. This is interesting because we were talking before about how the QAnon community was going to handle these mRNA cancer vaccines. So here we go from a QAnon adherent and one of the earliest proponents of pushing the QAnon conspiracies. mRNA cancer vaccines are the dumbest idea. Take a vaccine all you want, but if you maintain the same habits that got you diseased in the first place, nothing will change and the cancer will come back. I'll stick with my Gerson therapy and chlorine dioxide cancer therapies. Thanks.
So he's assuming that every case of cancer that's ever been recorded throughout human history is the fault of the person who got the disease.
Yes, and just take his new cancer stuff, his new MMS that he's going to be pushing.
Hey, are you afraid of cancer? Are you fearful? Are you uncertain? Do you feel doubtful about cancer? I have the cure.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, like the only cause of cancer is poor choices. Yeah, these people are fucking disgusting. They just want to grift off of this again. I can't. And he's a fire truther too. Here we go. Or fires are like conspiracies, of course. Coincidence? Another large fire erupts right after Trump announces that he'll be visiting the area on Friday. I mean, it's just, and here's a shout out for the number 17. 17, question mark. Trump fires 17 independent watchdogs at multiple agency in late night move. So, like, for them, like, the way he plays Aw Shucks, I just wanted to show a few of these. Here we go where he admits he's the first person. I was the first person on YouTube to make videos about Q in October of 2017. So, like, he's so proud of it. Here's a picture of Kash Patel.
Shit.
Yeah, he is. Only a matter of time until this guy deports some of the deep staters to Gitmo. Like they thrive on that. Trump sharing Q related memes on Truth Social overnight. When Q drops again, sir. And then I was trying to get people if they could find this, but nobody has been got back to me. RFK Jr. just mentioned Trump was looking at chlorine dioxide as a treatment for COVID. Of course, that didn't happen. Oh, wait, I read that. Never mind. And he's already promoting his MMS stuff, too, because he's excited. Apparently, he sells it in drop form now instead of chugging it out of those bottles. But, yeah, I just wanted to show some of the shit he's been up to. Go ahead, Steph.
Piece of shit. Sorry, I turned off my camera because I'm eating.
You're fine. Go ahead. And go ahead. And I just want to show what a piece of shit he is.
But it just... These... Like, you know, I was never in a QAnon and I was out by February 2017, and Q's first drop was October 28th, 2017, I believe.
Yeah, that was the first Q drop. It was my son. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't hear anything. It was a sunny day.
It was a sunny day.
But it was very just I'm people who are Jordan Sathers of the world.
Yeah.
Are they may have once been, and we've discussed this before, they may have once been a victim of disinformation. But like we said, once you turn and you are trying to influence others and you are trying to pill other people, you are a victimizer. And the way that they, like my new nickname for Sather is going to be the Artful Dodger, because he's very good at dodging responsibility. They all are. They all are. And just, it's the work that they have to do to excuse the work that they do. Just, are you unmuted?
Sorry. They are incredibly good at it. And I'm going to share some articles as we go through this. There's one where Will Sommer had done an article on them, particularly Jordan Sather, about MMS when like it was getting, that church got in trouble and it got banned, and like they're actually in jail, like the cult church that was selling it and making their members buy it and things like that. That family is, and Jordan Sather is like, I'll drink it live on camera to prove Will Sommer, like to own him. Like, I'll drink it right live on camera. Like, what? Like,
and yeah,
you're going to poison yourself and give yourself the shits just to prove somebody wrong?
And also, unless I'm in the room with him, and unless there's a team of like chemists there to test the item that he's about to drink, sorry, bro. You might, just like when Obama drank the water from Flint. Yeah, right. Sure. That was really the water from Flint. So, yeah. You know, Sather probably knows that this shit is dangerous. He probably doesn't drink it himself.
You know, and how sad was it? Because I looked up this FDA warning about the miracle mineral solution. My first thought was, I better archive this first on the Wayback Machine because of the Trump administration. But it's already been archived.
Oh, my God.
But that was my first thought.
Yes.
Just because of them taking down everything. That was my first thought. Oh, shit, I better archive this.
How many like scientific studies
outlandish, but upon their
disappear?
I hope they all archived and we're fast on that.
Yeah.
Because there's a link within that FDA thing. I went and clicked on it and it is not there. It says page does not exist. And I was like, well, that's gone. I hope they archive whatever that link went to. Fucking hell. I don't need new tires, but stay tuned for the next episode.
We're going to have to be smart. We're going to have to be strategic. We're going to have to be aggressive.
I'm an alpha guy.
I'll flip a table every time you aren't getting by.
Let's go. Just push.
It's all psychological warfare.
I'm not part of QAnon.
We know what they are doing.
For Trump. Ba, da, 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 da.
If shit goes wrong, like I will literally have to leave the country.
Stop that.
I'll land my initial plane.
Okay, high
I
five.
worked
This
a
isn't the
lot.
hi-fi show.
All right.
Good night. Good night. Nighty night.